Okay, we're going to start today's lecture talking about pounds force and pounds mass. There was a question asked in the muddiest point about how do we do all this, because you said that on Earth a pound's force is equal to a pound's mass, but we can't use those interchangeably. And so it can be difficult to understand. And so let me try to give an example here. Let's say I'm going to deal with this is just a board here, or a piece of metal. Let's do this piece of iron. Okay, and let's say it has some mass, so it's going to be pulling down with some force mg, and acting on the top of it is going to be some force. Okay, and let's just say the force is going to be equal to, I don't know, 3 pounds, because a pound's force. And let's say the mass, let's say it's 2 pounds mass is what the mass is. So now, if we want to figure out what this weight is going to be equal to mass times gravity, which is going to be equal to 2 pounds mass times 32.2 feet per second squared. Okay, now, when I'm doing this conversion, when I'm putting this in here, I want to figure out what the weight is, and I multiply that together. I'm going to get this is 64.4 pounds mass feet per second squared. Okay, but I know that I can't just say that that works out for me. I'm going to have to go through in here and say, well, I need to convert from pounds mass back to pounds force. And so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to say, well, this is going to be that 32.2 pounds mass is equal to 32.2 pounds mass feet per second squared is equal to 1 pound force. Okay, and when that converts out, you're going to get the answer is 2 pounds force. Okay, so what I want you to understand here is, yes, in this case, 2 pounds mass is being accelerated by 32.2. It's going to be equal to 2 pounds force. But when you are doing this calculation, sometimes students just look at this and say, well, it's pounds mass and pounds force are the same thing, and so they'll multiply 2 times 32.2 and not do the conversion to get them back into pounds force. Okay, so you either look at this and say, well, you know what, this mg is equal to 2 pounds force, or what I would ask you to do is go through this entire conversion process, and whenever you see pounds mass, you convert it back here to pounds force. I think that's the wise thing to do. Now, there are other situations, and I haven't thought of another situation in my time this morning that will. So there are times when we're dealing with pounds mass, we're not multiplying it by 32.2, and we have to convert that right away. So, for example, I think of this. For example, if we are going to have a specific volume. Okay, what is specific volume? Specific volume is going to be in feet cubed per pound mass. Okay, if we're dealing with a specific volume and we want to figure out, we're dealing with a problem that we need to figure out force in, now specific volume is not taking times gravity in this case. So we're going to have to take this times, if we want to do this conversion, we're going to have to say that 32.2 pounds mass feet per second squared is in 1 pound force. So sometimes when we're dealing with situations that have pressure in them, so pressure is going to be in pounds force per inch squared. Okay, so we're going to have this force, and then we're also going to have mass and things like that. So anytime we have these units, we're going to have to convert back and forth. And I'm just going to. It's not as simple as just seeing whenever you see pounds mass, you just go here and you replace pounds mass with pounds force. This is what students do often. They'll replace pounds mass with pounds force and then still multiply it by this number because they see m times g. You either have to say, okay, I'm not going to worry about this, and I'm going to analyze this all here and replace this whole thing with 2 pounds force, or go through that process. And I would recommend that you go through the process of multiplying out the units, eliminating them and being set to go. I hope this helps you a little bit. We'll probably still have to do a little bit of work on it. This may have been a little bit of a clunky explanation, but I'm going to tell you, please just go through this railroad tracking and simplifying, and that will probably be very helpful to you as we move through this class.